Hello, I'm Diamond White.
I'm Carly Rose.
And we're here at Mastermind Media.
And this is
X Factors.
With our special guest, CECE!
That was so cute how you guys did that. Just like, oh my God. Did you practice that, or is it just comes naturally? Oh my
We're
God.
just
professionals.
It's just a thing that we have.
Just the synergy
together.
is. Oh wow, that's beautiful. That's beautiful, you
Hey,
guys.
that's 10 years, baby.
I know.
Okay,
what?
so everyone watching, listening, we have not seen CeCe, although I heard you guys talking when I was in the bathroom that you may have like seen each other in passing.
Yeah.
randomly.
But
yeah.
for the most part, we have not seen each other since X Factor. So last time
that's insane.
CeCe saw us, we were children.
babies,
12
Babies.
years old.
12.
And
12.
yeah. But
Just gallivanting through Hollywood.
Yeah.
through Universal
with,
City Walk
with parental, you know, with
with
some-
lots of parental guidance.
Yeah.
And doing a show called X Factor.
Oh,
But
man.
yeah, so we're just so happy to see you.
My
like
God, same.
and you look exactly the same.
Exactly.
Which is like
Thank you.
it's like you are at the age where that's a compliment. I feel like that you
thank
look
you so
exactly the
much.
same. For us, if we looked exactly the same, would I want that? Probably not.
I mean,
Maybe not.
grown versions
But, like,
of
yes,
exactly the
sure.
same.
I'll take
you
that.
know,
I'll
Yeah.
take that.
for real. And I'm a
yes.
late bloomer anyway. So,
Well, you
And
still
you're
look
tiny.
like
I had
you're
looked like I was
19.
12
You
until I
still-
was 25. So it
Oh
was
my
like
God.
from 12 to 25, I looked
Oh,
looked like a baby.
God.
So it's
Well,
fine.
CeCe, you have been like one of the most requested people that we've
Stop.
that
Yeah.
we've had messages for. Like, where's CeCe? Bring CeCe on. So
Let's go,
very
'cause
happy this
people
has
want the
finally
tea.
happened.
They
I
wanna know
know.
what the fuck is up.
I feel like they
we
know.
want to know too.
I feel like that was one thing that we were talking about before we started. Was that like one of the first things CeCe said was like, "There's so much shit you guys don't know."
Yeah, for real.
And we were like, that makes so much sense because we were children.
Yeah.
So like we were totally kind of protected from
Yeah.
so much stuff, and
Yeah.
like you were going through it in a lot of ways that like
And you guys lived in a separate house than us.
Yeah, there was
So-
the adult house and the kid house.
Right.
Right next door to each other.
Yeah.
right. But then what we like used to did we like go into the adult house?
Yes, you were allowed
Or-
in there.
Yeah.
Because
But,
I
like-
have a vague memory of sneaking up, but I didn't think I was sneaking. But I remember the thing where I went up to get. I think this is like the funniest, like most kid thing. I went up to get some juice, and I got two people hooking up.
Ooh.
I feel like you know.
I don't. Oh.
Give me a hint. You don't have to say who.
What
One
race
of
are
them
they?
was in Fifth Harmony.
It was who?
One of them was in.
Okay. Uh-huh.
Yeah.
Um.
That's why I was like, what race? Because if it's
Oh yes,
black
I
people-
remember all.
Yeah.
I remember now
Okay.
the
Yeah.
uh-huh.
Yeah. So
the tangled webs.
yeah. But
weave.
so I didn't remember. I guess that like were we not allowed in there? We're not.
Kind
I
of
think-
not. I feel
yeah.
like they tried to keep you
Like,
guys
you don't wanna
separate
see
from
what's
us.
going on in
Well,
here.
I just like feel like there was just such separate and more strict rules
Yeah.
for you guys.
Right.
Yeah.
So it was just
we
a
were
completely
minors.
different
We had a
experience.
different like whole
Right.
contract.
Right.
So.
Right.
Yeah,
Ooh,
yeah,
that's
yeah.
stuff that I like don't really remember or think about. Like, but anyway, we're gonna get into all that.
Can't wait.
But before we do, we want to start with a game because we like to break the ice that doesn't seem to really be there with us, but we're gonna break it and we're gonna
No.
just nail it down.
Yes, let's do it.
It's called.
No explanation.
So basically, we're gonna get some topics thrown our way by the lovely Tanner over there, and
Hi,
then
Tanner.
we have to say if we're into it or not into it, but we can't explain ourselves.
Just yes or no.
It's
That's
just yes or no,
tough.
or into it or not into it. So, we can see if there's ones that we need to maybe like give a little bit of explanation after the game's done. Maybe we'll allow it if it feels really necessary. But the
Okay.
point is to try to just be
I truly
conviction.
have no context of what this is going to be, so I'm
Cool.
so excited.
Yes.
You live in the context.
What?
Huh?
Guys, come on,
again?
keep up. Did you just fall out of a coconut tree?
Yes, I did yesterday.
Oh my God, you guys are really not getting this.
No.
Kamala Harris.
Oh, I'm so
It's
sorry.
her. Okay, never mind.
I'm seriously so afraid of the state of the world right now that I just am in a state of pure avoidance.
I'm very hopeful.
Good.
Yeah, thanks to
Wow.
Kamala.
You know what? The children are our future.
Yeah.
Whatever you say, I'm going with.
Okay.
Let's do it. If you have hope, I have hope. It's fine.
Anyway, no explanation.
All right,
Yes?
jumping into no explanation.
Okay.
Remember, right off the top of your head, tip of the tongue.
We should
Okay.
go CC, me, you.
Oh, shit. Okay.
All right, CC. Situationships.
Not into it.
I'm into it.
Hell yeah.
Not into it.
Tattoos.
Into it.
Into it.
Yeah. I love
Into it. I don't have any, but I'm very into
None?
No.
Oh
Dating a musician.
Unfortunately, very into it.
Ooh, I'm so sorry. Not into it.
into it.
Going on X Factor.
Into it. Into it.
Into it.
Into it.
Plastic surgery.
Not into it.
Into it.
Into it. Into it. I want to say so many things.
Yeah, I do
you know,
too. Yeah.
it's like-
it feels like it requires a bit of.
Maybe that one we can get into after. Okay. But not right now.
That's a great,
Keep it going.
great topic.
Long distance relationships.
Into it.
Into it.
Not fucking into it.
Open relationships.
Not into it.
Ooh. Into it.
Into it.
Kitten heels.
Not into it.
Not into it.
Into it.
Los Angeles.
Into it.
I'm in it.
That ain't the game.
Not into it.
Not into it.
Short kings.
Into it.
Not into it.
Not into it.
Clubs.
Not into it.
Not into it.
Not into it.
So fast.
And lastly, friends with benefits.
Oh, into it.
Into it.
Not into it.
This concludes No Explanation. Into it, not into it edition.
That last one, it does make it seem like that would also be tied in with situationships, but
Fair enough.
Well,
There's some overlap, I'd say.
yeah.
I've done with the friends with benefits thing, but then it became a full blown relationship.
Okay.
You know, so it
I
really
haven't had that trajectory, so.
trajectory.
But yeah, so if we want to give a quick explanation in terms of plastic surgery, because I feel like that one we were both kind of,
Yeah.
I'm into it for like I've seen a lot of stuff on this recently because I was watching this reality show and then they were doing all these breakdowns of like what plastic surgery the people on it had, and I'm like I feel like I'm kind of blind to that stuff when it's super subtle because I'm like they had plastic. I didn't know that,
Yeah,
and they're like listing
totally.
5 surgeries that these girls have had done. So it's like if it makes them feel confident, fuck yeah. I personally like I haven't had anything done. I don't think you think I have, but like I haven't had anything done, and I don't see myself getting anything done. But like I'm definitely not gonna like shit on anyone who has. It's like if it makes you feel good, it makes you feel good.
Yeah, I think that's what I wanted to clarify with
Yeah.
the not into it is that I was speaking for me personally.
Right.
I think that everybody should do whatever makes them feel good.
Yeah.
Do what you want.
Yeah.
I just think, and even that, I even give myself the space to change my mind on that
Yeah.
in the future. But at this point in my life, I'm kind of like, nah.
Yeah.
And
Not
as
for
for me, I am scheduling a BBL. So,
Whoa, sick.
fuck
Is it
no.
really
I'm
going
just
through?
kidding. I'm just kidding, guys. Come
No, Diamond,
totally
you don't
were thinking
understand.
about
I
that.
have to live vicariously
I was
through people like
thinking-
you that like are willing to like get up there and have situationships and do that kind of shit. You know, I gotta.
No, but I was contemplating with the idea because my tits are an E. So
Incredible.
I'm like,
Truly. Mine are
saw
a
them-
negative
I
D.
saw them for the first time in real life, up close and personal, like last 2 weeks ago, and I was like,
Nice.
"Are those really real?"
yeah, she asked me if
It's
my tits were real,
unbelievable.
and I was like, dude, you think I would ask for this? Like,
Honestly, as a child, it was still like,
dude, I know.
you know.
But what I
crazy.
want to do, if it's a possible thing, is just like move the fat.
some stuff
Isn't
around.
that what they
Yeah.
do? Isn't that what
Reorganization,
they
if
move
you
it
will.
from your stomach. Yeah, reorganization. I
Yeah.
want to clean my house.
I get it. I get it.
I think that
Mine never
that
came
should-
in. Maybe you could look.
Yeah, mine are still developing.
I kept being told, you know what? My aunt told me. She goes, it's all right, CECE. You know, I didn't get boobs until I was a senior in high school. Listen, senior in high school done came and went.
Oh,
and
boy.
them bitches still ain't showed up. So
We're in it together.
I don't, yeah,
Yes.
itty bitty titty committee.
Yes,
You know.
yes, we're the founding.
So that's why I
fathers.
just live vicariously through you for everything. I'm just
Thank you.
like,
Thank you. I feel honored.
Okay, well, that was fun. We love No Explanation here on X Factors.
love it.
So clever.
It's
Yeah.
so clever, you guys. It's
Yeah,
so
We
good.
didn't think of it. But anyway, let's get into it. So, I think we're gonna go chronological order in a sense. Like we like to start out very clearly with, how did you start? When did you know that you were interested in singing and making music?
Give
Like
us your
what
life
was your
story.
journey to
Oh,
X
yeah.
Factor?
Cool. I mean, I grew up in a town of 300 people in southern Illinois. A lot of
300?
people don't know that. Yeah. Really small
Whoa.
town. Really small town. My
Whoa.
dad was a farmer. And I literally spent my childhood like on a gravel road and, you know, on my family's farm. And always just wanted to sing since I was 5. Like that's whenever I sang. I went to my mom and I was like, Mom, I'm going to sing in the kindergarten talent show. And she was like, you do that? You're going to, what? Okay. And so I did it the first time then. And literally that day I was like, oh yeah, this is what I'm doing.
Oh, cool.
Like she had to hold the microphone for me, like kneeling down for me to like sing Jesus Loves Me. Yeah, it was adorable. I was
Shout
in my
out
little
Jesus.
in my little Catholic schoolgirl uniform and everything too. Shout out Jesus. So yeah, I sang that and I was like, yeah, this is probably what I'm gonna be doing for the rest of my life. Literally as a kid, I
That is
decided
sick.
that. And then yeah, just growing up in that small town, all I had to sing at were county fairs and the national anthem at ball games and you know that type of shit, church. And man, I don't know. Let's see what came after that. After childhood singing, let's see. I got a little older and I was able to get into dive bars and things like that and do
Yeah.
dive bar sets and that type of shit. And then actually,
in your small town.
yeah, still in my small town.
So everyone must have been like CeCe, the girl who sings.
Yeah, CeCe the girl who sings.
Got it.
That's the singer girl. Yeah, you know,
Yeah.
that was me. And then whenever I was 15, we moved to Decatur, which is like 3 hours north of where I grew up. So I grew up in the bottom part of Illinois, which sometimes people hear me talk and they're like, "Where are you from?" And I'm like, the bottom of Illinois is Kentucky, essentially. So that's where I grew up. And then when I was 15, we moved like 2 hours north of there to a slightly larger town of 6,000. And I actually started, when I graduated high school, I went to Millikan University for a semester, which was a fine arts college. And I'm sorry, I shouldn't have done that. That was like such a, I really didn't even mean that. It came out by accident. Oh my God. It's
We won't tell them.
it's a great school. It really is. But I went there for a semester and, you know, I'm learning like Italian opera and music theory and ear
Okay.
training and all that. And I'm
Yeah.
like, well, this is not what I want to be doing.
Right.
And so there was this guy that actually would meet up with me before my music theory class every day to help me with my homework. And so we're sitting there and he's helping me with this shit. And he goes, you know, we're not supposed to be here, right? And I was like, where, in the library? And he's like, no, like at this school. And I'm like, why? Where should we be? He was like, if we want to do music, we need to get out of here.
Whoa.
And I'm like, and do what? He was like, we should be on tour. And I'm like, what do you mean we should be on tour? Like, he was like, well, let's start a band. And I'm like, we don't even know if we can write a song together. He's like, well, let's do it today. So we went to my parents' basement and wrote a record, and we thought it was so dank. And it is questionable. But at the time, we thought it was amazing.
Yeah.
And so literally we were like, he was like, we should do this. Let's just drop out and do this band. Wow. And so I went to my parents and I was like, yeah, I think I'm going to drop out. And they were like, yeah, if there was ever a time for you to do it, might as well do it now.
Huh.
You can
That's
always,
so cool.
You can always go back to school. And I was like,
Yeah.
okay. And so I dropped out of school. We toured the Midwest in his mom's minivan for
This is a
like
movie.
a year.
This is
Oh,
amazing.
we broke down in the middle of Iowa. We had gotten scheduled. We got on this festival where Big Boy was playing, and we got to open for him. We were on our way out there. The van was barely making it. We had to stop every like few miles to like pour transmission fluid in it and shit. We got there. It poured down rain. They canceled the festival. We had to turn right back around
No.
and head home. The transmission dropped out of that bitch on on the highway, and we were stranded on the side of the road all night. Had to get. Oh, it was a whole. So yeah, I have been in the trenches doing this shit.
How old were you?
Oh my God! At the time, I think I was 17 or 18.
Wow.
Yeah, I was really young. And let's see. Well, cut to that band broke up, as all good bands do, you know, as all the greats do.
Yeah.
But that guy is Cheat Codes. Matt
that is
Ellifritz.
So random.
Yeah. The guy with like the bald head or whatever. That is my buddy, Matt. That was like, and he's just been like, no, this is what we are doing. Like my entire time of knowing him, he has always been like that.
Wow.
And now he's like touring the
Yeah,
world with Cheat
right,
Codes and
right.
calling the shots. Like they're killing it.
Yeah.
Like,
That is a movie, though.
it's so cool, right?
so
like,
sick.
and like right after that, I had been putting YouTube videos and stuff, like cover videos and shit up on YouTube. And some producer from X Factor hit me up and was like, "You got to come be on our show."
Huh.
And I was like, "No way! I'm a serious musician." I was like, I'm a serious musician. I want to be taken seriously, you know, whatever. And I was working 2 jobs at the time in this tiny ass town. And I was like, I literally had gotten home one day from work and I was in my Dale South Lake Pharmacy shirt and everything. And I was like, I got to get the fuck out of here.
Yeah.
And this might be my ticket. And
Whoa.
literally the universe might have dropped this in my lap and I should probably listen to it. So I sent in a video and they were like, yeah, we're going to just send you right to Kansas City to sing for the judges.
Oh my God.
Yeah. Yeah.
So you and I had a slightly easier journey, not.
Oh no.
Yeah.
This was not like that, huh?
No.
No.
Oh dear.
She was
I was in the lines with the people, like
her
from
and B,
jump.
both B and
Yeah.
Diamond. We found out when we had B on.
A literal diamond in the rough. Can we just? Can we just?
Yeah.
That's for real.
Yeah. Okay, so that's very interesting because that's a new story that I haven't heard. Like
Yeah.
I feel like I was like, oh, mine was different because I went to a mall and I
mall?
I went to a mall and I like they had this like kind of booth thing where you sounds fake where you go in and like record film yourself singing and it's like apparently goes
What?
to the people of X Factor. Yeah, literally. I drove to like New Jersey with my like mom and like met up with my cousins. We're like, all right, we're gonna go like do this thing, sing in this box.
That's awesome.
Went to
I
Cheesecake
did not
Factory
know
after,
that was a
like
thing.
never thought about it again. And then sure enough, I got a call like you're gonna be an alternate, like come to
Alternate. that voice, an alternate.
So you're gonna be an alternate. So come to like Providence, Rhode Island the next day, and like you might be able to sing in front of the judges. So it's like I still had some of the like I was in a convention center waiting for hours and hours and hours where I didn't know if I was gonna be singing in front of the judges. I could have just gone home and nothing ever happened with it, but obviously that didn't happen. But yeah, I didn't do the like line thing. Like there was a step that I skipped as well. So you did kind of same thing. They found you and they called you to come out to Kansas City. And then like, were you also in a convention center waiting?
Yeah, I was at the. I feel like this was at their stadium or something.
Yeah.
That it was.
The
set
actual
up.
live show day.
Yeah, it was. That was at whatever the arena in Kansas City is. I'm pretty sure that's where we were at.
They had like a big place to do it. Okay, cool.
Did you at least like wait like a couple hours?
Yeah, I mean, yes,
No,
bitch.
CeCe got there. They ushered her in. CeCe, please. This is Simon.
No.
This is
Are
Brittany.
you kidding me? I was there all
Yeah,
day
yeah,
so
yeah.
that they could put me in scenarios for me to talk to people and yeah,
What?
that.
Yeah, they
Grr.
tried to make you seem a little.
Let me tell you,
There's a lot of tea I know we have to get into. Is this?
Yeah.
Should we start spilling some right here, like
whatever
a little, like little?
Yeah, I mean,
Should have gotten a teacup, just like a little spillage.
there's two super juicy
Okay.
pieces,
Okay.
and one was at my audition, and one is while I'm in live shows.
Right.
Okay.
So when I got to Kansas City, like I mean, I'm like 20. I'm there with my mom and dad and my aunt, and I'm just like all excited. And you guys know me pretty well. I mean, at least then, but I'm just like a really animated, like kind of bubbly ass human. Like that's just who I am. And so I'm waiting in line, and this guy comes up, and I won't reveal who this person is. But this guy comes up with an earpiece and pulls me to the side and goes, "You're CeCe, right?" And I was like, "Yeah, oh my God, how do you know me?" And he's like, "I know all about you." And I'm like, "Oh, okay." I'm like, what the fuck is happening? And he goes, "You any good?" And I was like,
I would have shat.
I said, I'm like, well, I've been singing my whole life, and I work really hard at this, and so, I mean, yeah, I think I'm pretty good. He goes, "Wow, that answer sucked," to my face in front of my parents. He goes, "Wow, that answer sucked," and I was like, I'm blowing this shit, and I have not even gotten to sing yet. So I'm like, I'm fucking this up. So he goes, "Do you think you're going to get 4 yeses from the judges today?" And I was like, well, I can see everybody around here practicing and stuff, and I can honestly say I think I got just as good a shot as anybody else. And he goes, "Wow, wrong again."
What? Oh my God.
And he goes, "Are you going to get 4 yeses from the judges today?" And I said, "Yes." And he goes, "CeCe, listen. People don't buy this humility bullshit."
Oh, whoa.
And he went like this.
Whoa.
He goes, "People don't buy this humility bullshit. Simon wants a killer this year, and I'm trying to see if that's going to be you."
Shut the fuck up. Whoa.
He goes, "So let me ask you this one more time. Are you going to get 4 yeses from the judges today?" And I said, "You bet your ass I am."
Period.
And he goes, "Perfect. That's the girl you're going to be from here on out."
Fuck.
And that's literally what happened. Wow.
That's so
And my dad
crazy.
literally stepped in and he goes, "Now, we didn't really raise her to be that way." I was like, literally, like, I told him, I said, I really have worked my whole life to find that balance of being confident and also having humility. Like, I sing at church, I'm really passionate about that. And he was like, I literally said to his face, I remember I said, "I'm not going to be your bitch this season."
Good for you.
And he goes, "That's not what I'm trying to do. That's not what I'm trying to do."
He immediately like softened up and was
He's like, "That's not what I'm trying to do." And so literally all day, every time he would see me, he'd be like, "CeCe, how we feeling? How we feeling?" And I'm like, ready to fucking kill it. He's like, "Yeah," but like
Whoa, like totally creating this character
amping
for
me
you
up
from the very
all the
first
time.
second.
And every, like, it was obvious that that's what they wanted me to do. And
Right.
I come from a place that if the boss tells you to jump, you say, how fucking high? And I want this bad. So I was like, I'll do whatever.
Wow, yeah,
Because it's
like,
acting.
Right.
I'm just like doing is that part of me? For sure. Is it the only part of me? Definitely not.
Right.
Can I be that girl that's like, yeah, I'm gonna fucking dominate this shit? Absolutely. That's not all there is to it.
Yeah.
And I still to this day don't think that there's anything wrong with wholeheartedly believing in yourself. And sometimes what I learned from this journey is that whenever they would interview me right before I would perform or whatever, and I knew the role that I had to play was, I'm going to go out there and fucking kill it.
Yeah.
I would get out there and do better than whenever I was unsure. Before, like, it was almost like I was amping myself up for it in a sense.
Right.
Anyway, and then literally during the audition that day in Kansas City, he would just continue to put me in scenarios, talking to people. He's like, oh, go up and talk to that couple over there and ask them how it's going to feel if one of them gets through and the other one doesn't.
What the hell?
And this was all getting filmed?
Yeah, and I was like, I said, well, do I have to ask him like that? And he was like, no, just however you would do it. And I had already been talking to them because I was there with my boyfriend too. So we were talking to them already, and I already had like a rapport,
Right.
and, and so whenever in conversation with them, I was like, what's that gonna be? Have you guys talked about that? What's that? It just, they were able to like put all of this stuff out of context.
Right.
But like that's every reality
No,
show,
totally.
Yeah.
So it's kind of what you sign up for. Everybody that goes on one of these shows says, I got a bad edit. Yeah, maybe that's part of it, and also part of it is like, that's just, did I say that shit? Yeah. But it was also part of a larger story that was happening behind the scenes. So
That is also interesting to me because, like, we've talked about before how, like, we kind of had our storylines that, like, they kind of created for us.
Oh yeah.
And and that's all true, but, like, it definitely wasn't nearly as
Rough.
blatant, and, like,
Yeah, for us.
it was more for
They
better
gave
for
us
worse.
sympathy rather than making someone into a
like
monster.
giving us sob stories was more the thing.
when you got to boot camp, did they tell you were rooming with your direct competition?
I think, yeah. When I got to my room, there was another girl in there. And my mom was like, oh, hell no. We're not doing this shit. She talked to somebody. The girl was gone. I don't know what she did,
I
but...
love your mom.
Did you room with
Paige? We got there.
With
and
who?
We were told.
Paige.
We were told when we arrived that we were roomed with our direct competition, and that it was likely going to be one of us that got to go on.
But
So they were like, it's all
there
part
was
of.
so much
Mind
much
game
more
shit.
mind game and manipulation happening
Yeah.
to people that were older than to us.
Yeah.
Like I would honestly be scared as fuck to go on one of these shows when I was like of age, like my
Yeah.
age now, or like you were
They don't
20,
really
21.
do them like that anymore, though. I don't know
yeah, I
if you guys have
don't
noticed,
know.
but I feel like a lot of shows are aimed way more at like positivity,
Right.
and,
Yeah,
like, letting
yeah.
things
The landscape
be just
of things has changed.
Yeah.
But
Yeah. I have a question.
Yeah,
Because I remember
please.
a specific experience on the show
Tell me.
where they put us into a room, like all the female singers, and they were like making us sing like every note at the same time, but like the octave above and above and above. And when you couldn't do it, you had to step out.
Yeah,
Do you remember that?
I do vaguely.
Like,
I did not do this. That's one of
Testing
the things.
range and stuff.
yes.
Was that at boot camp?
Yes.
Yeah.
In Miami. Mm-hmm. Yeah. I
Boot camp
I feel
was
like
a
I
wild
made that up.
experience, honestly. Boot camp was
Yeah.
really wild.
So okay, let's talk a little bit about boot camp, and then let's take a look at a performance.
Okay.
So that we can relive all of our
All
glory.
that trauma. That's good.
But yeah,
That'll be good.
So boot camp. We know now that you were room with Paige.
Mm-hmm.
Like what what else that when you think back sticks in your mind about that time?
I just remember that it felt like I knew it was part of the plan for them to like get us riled up against each other.
Yeah.
And I was very much like not willing to play that game and not feeling like that was reciprocated by her.
So she was willing to kind of go for it.
Well,
more
it just
than you
it
were.
felt like it felt more like she thought it was real. And I'm like, I really like don't think it's a me against you thing.
Yeah.
It's a me against me thing. I'm trying to just do my best,
Yeah.
you know? But that's just part of it. Like if somebody is telling you that, of course she thought that. Like I don't blame her at all for any of that. And honestly, me and Paige people think that we like hated each other. We were like friends.
Yeah.
We did not have any issues
Yeah.
on the show. There was like a couple times where I could feel her feeling like what they were feeding us was real of this competition between us. And I remember pulling her aside and being like, that's not me. I'm not trying to do this. I'm not trying to like pick the same song as you or like
Oh my
whatever.
God.
That
Picking
whole
the
thing.
songs.
Yeah, picking songs. It's the worst.
Just for the sake of getting through what we want to get through, let's maybe move to a performance because I want to talk about Demi and like
Yeah, as a judge.
yeah
like, what
everything
that was like.
and your like relationship on the show and what that was like, and then I want to get to the other spilling of the tea moment that there is that you said once we're in live shows.
Oh yeah.
And then I have some other questions. So roll the tape.
Oh dear God.
Roll the clip.
Baby, find your note. I can already tell you.
CECE Frey.
Some of those hairstyles. Honestly, Marina absolutely killed the costumes on this.
Oh yeah.
She is a genius. Like,
you always had like dancers.
always. And I'm like, I don't know how to move.
Same.
I'm not really
Same.
a dancer
Yeah.
per se. Could I just not do this? But I was like, hey, you want me to be a pop
Right.
star girly? I'll
Yeah.
do it. Because I'm just kind of down, to just go for it.
You knew that was like
What they want.
Yeah.
Also, the hair change
Yeah.
kind of told
that's
me
another
everything.
thing I want to talk about.
Did they bleach you?
Girl.
Yeah. They bleached you against your will. No?
It's all part of the grander story that I'll continue to tell you. Ooh, better whip that hair, baby.
You had a high production value.
Hi. I will say, definitely this one. I was like, I'm doing what?
Yeah.
This staging is insane.
Crazy.
That's the best part of this show, I think, is the way that they made every performance like a high,
Yeah, fair.
high
Yeah,
production
true.
value.
Yeah.
Like show you what it's like when these people are going to be superstars. what
That's
it could
true.
be.
Yeah,
I
they
don't think
trained you
about
how
that.
to
Like, because the voice and stuff,
perform.
it's just like you're kind of just there in front
Yeah.
of like the same background everyone. It's interesting.
Oh. I was trying to. I remember for this performance, me and Marina planned we were gonna put a real rose in my skirt so that I could throw it at Simon when we got down there, but something the production said.
Aw.
Oh. I was just so nervous. Do you guys remember being just so nervous?
Yeah.
I remember being so nervous beforehand, and then blacking out the entire time
Yeah,
on
yeah,
stage.
yeah,
but like
yeah.
the beforehand was just horrible.
I do remember though on the performances that they gave me where I was just singing and just like standing, I was just like, okay, go,
in
go,
your element.
go.
Yeah, totally.
But you got me dancing
Okay,
and
no.
shit.
Just singing way too much.
We all
doing the
did. I
most.
feel like we all did.
Just doing the most.
It's hard not to in that moment because you're just like, I want to show them that I have something. And it's like, there's moments where I was like, did you have to do that run?
Like, did
again,
we need to
again,
oversing
again?
the whole thing,
Yeah.
girl? No,
I
we didn't.
feel you. I feel you. When you got up and like saying, did you kind of know like, oh, you know, LA is going to say this about me or Simon's going to say this about me, or like, what did you kind of feel about that?
Yeah, I don't know. I was like, God, I don't even remember a lot of what the judges said to me. I just remember hardly ever getting good critiques and just being like, okay, well,
Yeah.
didn't like that one either. All right, guess we're gonna have to throw something else at the board, you know. And I really just think it's because I didn't get to be fully authentic from the moment that I stepped on the show. And whenever you're not getting to be your authentic self, you're questioning everything you do and say all the time. And I just think that came with age too. I was young and I was willing to,
Right.
I was naive. I wanted this so bad that I was willing to just like listen to whoever and whatever they told me to do.
Took full advantage of that.
And I was like, sure, I'll just go for it. And yeah, production loved me. I have so many friends still in production.
Oh,
and,
really?
And like, yeah, because like, I didn't give them a hard time. If they wanted me to do something, I just fucking did it. If you wanted me to put me in a scene, you want me to say this, like, just tell me what you want me to say, and I'll just
Have
do
you
it.
had any powwows with like people from the show and been like, why did this happen? Or like, how did you, like, what was the actual like dialogue backstage in, you know, behind closed doors about like this? Or like, have you gotten those answers or no?
No, I mean, why were my in-ears not working whenever I was out there doing Save Me songs? And, you know, why? Come on. Like, that should happen all the time. Like, I would be sent out for a Save Me song, and I'd be like, my ears are not on. My ears are not on. They will be. Go, go, go. And have to get out there and literally fucking wing it.
Whoa.
Not being able to hear a damn thing.
Crazy.
That's on The Show Is Rigged.
And maybe that was a total just mishap.
Yeah.
Do I believe that? I don't really.
Yeah.
I don't, you know? So I just, yeah.
That's crazy.
So, but at the same time, I don't really question a lot of that anymore because I'm like, regardless, I wouldn't change the experience. I would do it again. And so however it happened, it happened and I wouldn't take it back. So
Yeah.
and at the end of the day, I'm proud of myself and proud of what I did. I think I got really far being a completely like untrained vocalist that just got a shot. And you know, like I'm proud of what I did. I was 21 years old. I was a fucking baby.
I think about that all the time. I really do. I think about you guys at the age. That's what I was going to say downstairs when I was like, I'm going to stop because I want to say this on the podcast. But like, I think about, obviously we were like so young, but it's almost like we were so young that like, yes, that's hard too. But like,
Yeah.
it's like we were protected in lots of ways and also just like unaware of so much just from being young. Like just from like there are things like I didn't understand. Like
You were
I didn't
also
get
locked up like most of the time.
fair. Yeah. I didn't understand the full scope of what I was doing.
Yeah.
But at 20, 21, I think about where I was, you know, when I was 20, 21, like, which wasn't that long ago, but it feels to me like, oh, like I was so young and like, so, but like you're still like, your understanding of the world around you is like obviously significantly more developed than when you're 13.
Yeah.
So it's like, it's almost like I feel like your age doing something like that is so much harder because like you can understand pretty much everything that's going on around you while also being naive. So it's like you're going to say yes to things, but like, I don't know.
But you have to also remember I came from, I mean, everybody's childhood is different, but I came from a very, very sheltered upbringing. I come from, I mean, a farm. And like my next experience was Hollywood.
Right.
And
Crazy.
And I'm like, I might never get this kind of shot again. So if this guy is telling me that I can go all the way if I do what I'm told,
Right.
I'm going to
Do what you're
do
told.
it.
Yeah.
You know, so
It's tough.
and that's what I that's what I played. And to myself, when I watch the edits, I'm like, you know what? I was so much more careful about the way I said that than the way that the edit shows it. I always think that, and that is the truth. Did they take certain things that I said and cut it out of context? Was there several times that I heard my mouth say things and they had to cut away from my face because the lips wouldn't match up? 100% I saw that type of shit too. But that's all shit. It's just what you sign up for. That's what you sign up for. So I'm not here to complain about it in any way.
No. I think it's all just like to talk through it, to make light of certain things.
100%. It's great to talk about,
It's
especially
so-
with you
yeah.
guys that actually really, you were there and you totally understand what the experience was like.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, I want to talk about Demi.
okay.
I don't know why I kind of remember us thinking, we've talked about this, like you guys had more of a relationship with Demi than like we had with Brittany.
Yeah, y'all went out to go get ice cream and shit.
I didn't remember that. I know you said that, but like, yeah, what was your...
Yeah, any hangs that we had, it was for the show.
Of
It was
course, yeah.
filmed, so it like, did I think that we had like, by the end of the show, I felt like she and I had a genuine friendship that kind of fizzled out as the years went on and, whatever. So, but again, I think about her and she was the same age as me.
That's what's so
Yeah. And
So-
also going through her shit.
So,
at the
like,
same
how can
time.
you expect her to, one, be in this position?
Right.
So, for her to do the job that she did, I think is amazing. I don't know that I would have handled it with as much grace and poise and whatever else. But you got to remember that even with the judges, like, it's all strings that's being pulled by the production.
right.
So I think that she did the best that she could for us. You know
Yeah.
what I mean? But
Yeah.
we were close in age, and so that's probably why you guys felt like we had more of a. And by the end, I felt like she and I did. Like, I saw her after the show and different things like that, and so we had a relationship after the show, but it fizzled out as
Yeah.
seasons of friendships do. But
Except for ours.
except for you guys.
And now ours with you.
I know. I'm so happy that we
Darling.
got reunited.
I know. Okay.
Oh yeah, ask away.
Don't you want it?
Oh, the cheetah print.
Yeah.
Where did that come from?
Okay, so in that band with Matt from Cheat Codes, the first song that we wrote was called Animals. And so literally in the van on the way to shows, I would sit back there with my little acrylic paint and a paintbrush and try not in the bumps, try to paint that shit on my face because I thought it was part of my look.
Yeah.
It was part of the
It
look
really was,
in the
though.
band. And, it was different and weird and
Yeah.
kind of cool, I thought, at the time. And so literally the producer that cast me or whatever, I had shown her a picture and I was wearing that for the show. She's like, "What's on your face?" And I'm like, "Should I wear that to my audition?" She was like,
Oh, they would
"Absolutely."
eat that shit up.
Yeah.
And I was like, "Oh," because I was like, "That's for something else."
Yeah.
That's for the role I play in that
Yeah.
band. But they were like, "No, absolutely, you have to wear that." And so it just kind of took on a life of its own. It definitely took on a life of its own.
Right.
Like
Yeah.
still to this day, seeing people like paint it on or tag me in something that's like, "Oh, this is so like CeCe Fry coded" or something.
Yeah.
And I'm like, that's sick.
Was there a point during it they were like, fuck, I don't want to keep doing this?
Yeah, totally.
Yeah.
But that's why I started evolving it into other things. So they started putting different kind of appliques and stuff on.
Right.
But I still liked it as part of the brand. It felt
Right.
like something that, just having that on there. But
Made sense at the time.
yeah,
Yeah, it
and
did.
I think it's cool too because I think at this point in my life, that to me very much reads as like it was a mask then, and just like the hair was and everything else, and now I'm a fully realized
Yeah.
artist, and all of that shit's gone, and
Right.
I feel like I'm living my most authentic artistry now, and
Which we are going to get to definitely at the end once we move past X Factor stuff.
yeah, for sure.
Okay, well, should we get to the
Well,
spilling
if I
of the
could fit in a
tea?
fucking question.
Sorry!
Yeah. What made you want to cut your hair off?
Good one.
I've always wanted to try short hair, and
So good with it.
Yeah, you do.
thank
It fits your face. It
Thank
really
you
does.
guys so much. I always wanted to try it, and then also it ties into the other thing that I'm going to tell you about. But yeah, I did. I cut it all off and donated it back in 2019. And because I had quite a bit of hair at that time, it was like almost down to my butt. So we chopped it, and I got to donate it, and then I had a real chic little mullet for a while and a couple different pixie cuts, and then in 2020, I was giving myself a haircut, and I was like, maybe I should just shave it. And Chase, my boyfriend, was like, fucking shave it. Shave that shit. You should be bald. And I was like, he goes, I don't know why. I just have always thought you would be great with no hair. And so I fucking shaved that shit. And I'm telling you, I don't know what it was about it, but the second that I shaved my head, I felt like I became like who I was always supposed to be. It was really weird. Like, and I've never wanted to grow it back. Every 2-3 weeks, whenever I give myself a fresh buzz, I'm like, the bitch is back, baby. Like, I just feel so myself. I don't know how to describe it. So, I mean, I might grow it back someday, but I don't really have any plans to right now because it just feels like
Where you're at right now.
it's also just super easy.
Oh, yeah,
Yeah.
I'm sure it is.
I think about the time that you ladies still spend on hair, and I'm like,
Well, I don't. I don't do anything.
Really?
No, I just do my baby hairs and I go on
It's
about
so
my day.
beautiful.
But I
It
did go
looks
through
so-
that same experience because I
Oh,
shaved my
yeah.
head. Yeah, so that's
you
why I wanted
did.
to ask.
Oh my God. Okay, and so why did you?
Because I would always get perms as a kid, and I didn't know my hair texture. So I was like, you know what? Sorry, mom, it's gone.
Let's
You
see
did
what
it
it
yourself?
Let's see
Yeah,
what it
in a
grows
music
back
video.
as.
I literally am shaving
love
my
that.
head in a music video.
That's incredible.
Yeah,
That
thanks.
is so incredible.
But that's why I wanted to
And
ask.
and how did it make you feel after you had done
liberation.
it? Isn't it weird?
It's great.
It's
Oh,
like
man.
honestly,
guys.
every girl that comes to me and is like, "Oh, I've always wanted to try that." I'm like, "Do it.
Yeah.
Yeah,
do it
do
at
it.
least once."
Yeah.
And because it will redefine femininity and your identity to you.
Yeah.
Because you'll be like, "Oh, actually, the bounds of who I am are limitless. Like I can look like anything, you know." It opened up a whole it opened up my brain to so much possibility.
Really cool.
For sure.
That's really cool. Diamond, do you have another question you want to ask?
Yes.
Oh wow.
My dear.
Thank you, but no.
Oh, okay. Are we sure?
Yeah.
So thank you, but no.
Okay, well then let's get to the bigger story arc that we keep referring to with your hair and the tea and the
Well,
lashes.
I've actually kept this secret
Ooh.
since 2012. I really told pretty much
I
nobody.
feel like I know
You might know
because of my mom.
Yeah, because I think your mom found out
Yeah.
and was
Yes, that's why I said my mom is always like rides for UCC
know.
because like she
because people just don't fucking know.
yeah.
So, okay, in that video, I'm wearing a wig.
Okay. Okay.
In fact, for most of the season of the live shows, I'm wearing a wig.
Okay.
Because when I came out to LA for live shows, when they did our makeovers or whatever, I still remember y'all youngins going in there and being like, I don't want to get a toner put on. I don't want a toner. I don't want to touch my hair. I don't want to cut 2 inches off. And I'm like,
Getting the bleach ready.
I'm over here, Daenerys Targaryen on them. So I was sitting there, and this woman comes in, and again, no names, and it's been long enough so people can't find. And
Yeah.
I really have kept this a secret because I just didn't want to get anybody in trouble. But she came in and she goes, all right, get the bleach ready, get the foils ready, da 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 da. And I'm sitting there in the chair, and they're just putting a cape on me, and I'm like, hold up, what's happening? what are y'all gonna do to my hair? And she goes, oh, no one told you? I was like, no. She was like, you're going platinum blonde today. And I was like, the hell I am. I was like, my mom cuts my hair in our bathroom. I've never had my hair colored in my life.
Yeah.
Again, town of 300 people. Like, I didn't go to a salon. We didn't get our hair colored. Like, none of that shit. And I'm like, she goes, yeah, you have virgin hair. That's why it's going to lift so good. And I'm like, I was like, I don't know. She's like, well, what are you afraid of? And I'm like, I'm afraid it won't look good on me. I'm afraid that it's not me. I don't think that's me. And she was like, well, we're some of the best in the world. Like, we'll make it look amazing. It will look amazing on you. Like, Demi, the whole production, everybody thinks this will look amazing on you. And I was like, you know, I don't know. I really, I was almost sick, dude. Sick. I went outside and took a picture of myself to send to my mom as like a one last look at it.
Oh my God.
And she goes, how bad do you want to be here?
What?
Fuck.
How bad do you want to be here? And I was like, well, pretty fucking bad. So I guess you can bleach my fucking hair.
Damn.
So they bleached my hair and I hated it. I woke up for a couple of weeks every morning and looked at myself and was like, I don't know you. I probably would have been better off with them shaving it. I was really upset with the blonde at first. But then I was like, nope, I'm going to just like master my circumstances. And if this is part of it, then this is just a step to the next place. You know, I don't have to keep this forever, whatever. So, but the one thing I told them is I was like, if you're going to do this to my hair, you have to keep it up while I'm on the show. Because with it being this blonde, if you're going to let 3 or 4 inches of like my dark roots grow in, I did not want to look like crap on TV, you know? And so they were like, no, that's fine. We'll take care of it. So 2-3 weeks later, right before the first live show? No. Maybe the second live show. It was midnight and I was like, I need to go in and have my roots done. So they took me to the salon in the middle of the night and I'm sitting there and I remember Janelle came in to get her hair touched up or something too. And they put the bleach on, whatever. I go under the dryer and then they put me back in the bowl to rinse it out and I'm beat. I need to go get some sleep. I have to perform the next day.
Yeah.
I got my hair in the bowl. They're rinsing it out, pulling out foils, and this woman goes,
Oh my God.
and she called for the man's name, who I will not mention, for him to come in. She's like, I need you to look at something. And so he looked in the bowl and he was like, okay, we're going to take you outside for a second. And I was like, okay. And because Janelle's still in there. So I go outside and he goes, your hair's falling out. And I was like, oh my God, I'm so sorry. I've been so stressed. What can we do? I'm so
You
sorry.
thought it was your fault?
Yeah, I was like, I'm so sorry. What can I do? And he was like, no. Sometimes when the old bleached hair meets the new bleach, it breaks. And I'm like, so you guys did this? And he was like, yeah. And I was like, okay, how bad is it? And he's like, we don't really know yet. And I was like, she's like, and this woman is bawling.
The one who's doing it.
She's sobbing. And I'm like, I'm like, it must be bad. And so he's like, we're going to get the rest rinsed out and just see what we're dealing with. And so I have my head back in the bowl and I'm like,
You have no idea what's.
this woman is still crying over the top of me.
Oh my God.
And I'm like, I was like, are you going to have to shave my head tonight? And she goes, honestly, I don't know yet. And I was like, so they rinse it out. We go to another part of the house. Janelle is still completely unaware. And I'm just like holding my composure, and they take me in there, and she's like, but we don't know how bad it is until I start combing this out. So she literally takes a comb, and I can hear behind me the sound of like I don't know how to describe it, but I could literally hear my hair breaking as she was like combing it out. And she's just combing and pulling. And so I start to turn around to look, and she goes, "No, don't look." And I'm like, I gotta see what we're doing. And there's a mound of my hair on the counter behind her. And I'm like, first of all, you guys fucking took my beautiful hair.
Yeah.
And now what? There was a size missing on top of my head this big, the size of a hand. And then it was really thin right through here. It's pretty much where all the heat from the heater that they put me under got it. So it all broke here, but I had this up front. So the guy comes in and he goes, "I had Cher's wig person on the phone. We're going to have a piece for you here in the morning." And he's like, "And you're going to get to keep that." And I'm like,
What?
I'm like,
After all that?
I'm like, okay. And you know what? When I saw that, I like had a moment where I like had to catch my breath, and I called my mother, and I will never forget this. I called my mom and I said, "Mom, they ruined my hair. They burnt it, and half of it fell out. I'm like half bald." And she goes, "You know what? Tell him to fucking shave it. You'd be beautiful without it." She's told me that. Like, she did not even miss a beat. She was like, "You know what? Tell him to shave it. You don't need hair." And I was like, "Well, they have a wig for me." And she was like, "Do I need to get on a plane?" And I was like, "No, we can't afford that. I got it." And the next day I went out and I performed the Celine Dion record. And that would have been one that just standing there, I should have been able to nail. But the only thing going through my head the whole day is I was like, you guys took my fucking hair. You changed my whole shit that was already good enough to begin with. And now I'm up here wearing a wig that nobody knows about. And so I'm probably going to go home on this song with no hair, a wig, and having embarrassed myself on TV. And so the rest of the season was literally me coming to grips with every day having to get up and put a wig on so that nobody would see the fact that I was like practically bald.
Jesus.
Yeah, it was rough. It was so rough. And I never told anybody because, I mean, the production knew, and everybody was kind of like,
right, because they're like,
what
they know they fucked up.
What are you going to do? And I was just like, no. Like, the people that did my hair, they're good people, and I think it was a mistake. I don't think that they meant to, and I just am like, I didn't want,
Was that your main reasoning? Because like you didn't want to get anyone like fired?
I just didn't want them to. I don't know, they were so nice to me whenever it happened and so apologetic or whatever, and I was like, what am I gonna do? Turn this season into, first I am the villain because I'm doing what I'm told on TV, and now I'm the victim because I was just like, no way. Like, I'm just going to try to get through the rest of this experience with as much grace as I possibly can and then get the fuck out of here, you know? So that was literally,
Wow, CECE.
yeah.
I'm so sorry.
No, thank you. But really, it's okay. And I don't tell that story to, like, for sympathy or anything like that. It's just, it's something that happened that I was, like, hell-bent on not talking about. But now people in my life are like, you know, it wouldn't hurt for people to know that that's what you were experiencing the entire time you were trying to navigate this.
Whole nother layer to
Yeah.
everything that people
Yeah.
saw on TV. Like, it was hard enough without that.
Yeah.
Being the age that you were,
Right.
like coming from a town of 300 people and getting to this experience where you're like, holy shit, I'm now in LA and I'm doing this crazy thing. Like, I've never been trained in this. Like, it's already such a insane jump.
Yeah.
But then to be dealing with that on your own, like not with your parents there, to like on your own, like that's crazy.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No, it was, I just, when you reached out to do this, I was like, this is the perfect way for me to tell this story because you guys were there and like it felt weird me just coming out and like telling this story because it's kind of like
It's like, bitch,
who
what?
cares? Like it's fine.
Yeah.
You know, you're fine now.
No, but I'm so glad you
But-
shared that with us.
Yeah, that's
Seriously.
something that I was dealing with while I was on the show, and it's so funny to me now that it was so important for me to like grow it back because it felt like it had been taken
Totally.
from me.
Yeah,
Totally.
yeah.
And then later in life, for me to do it myself felt so much better.
What a poignant like
Yeah.
moment for you.
Yeah,
Wow.
for sure.
Well, thank you for sharing that with
Yeah,
us.
of course. I appreciate you guys listening.
Yeah, no, that was, just lots of
I know I love your mom because now I remember that she was one of the few, and honestly, everybody's moms became my mom.
Yeah.
Yeah.
When my mom couldn't be there. It was so sweet. Like I remember Lauren's mom, Camila's mom, your mom, like a lot of them. But your mom was the only one that really knew, I think, what had happened. And she was
Oh.
like, we need to come for next for this. And I was like,
Don't.
it's not gonna give me my hair back.
right,
It's just
right,
gonna cause a
right.
bunch of drama.
Yeah.
And I would rather leave this experience with everybody feeling like, you know what, CeCe's awesome and I'd love to work with her.
And I have
again.
so much
Yeah.
respect for that.
Thank you.
Yeah, me
So
too.
much respect for that.
Thank you.
We're running out of time, but I do want to just talk about post that experience.
Yeah.
Now you're
Yeah.
liberated, you've shaved your head and you're back and you're killing it on social media.
Thank
You're
you.
killing it with your music. Like
Thank you so much.
maybe just like give the people watching and listening a
Rundown.
rundown of like what's going on now, what's coming, anything like that.
Yeah, my next single, Cowboy Cry, is coming out next Friday. So we're very
Hey.
excited.
Okay, we'll be streaming.
And yes, I cannot wait. And yeah, just working on the album that's coming sometime next year.
Hell yeah.
I think.
Hell yeah.
Maybe. But yeah, new single coming out next Friday, and there may or may not be a video that's in the works as
Ooh,
well.
fun.
Fun.
And did I hear you say that you work with your boyfriend? Does your boyfriend produce your music?
Yeah, so
Oh.
Chase.
Fuck.
Chase is a songwriter and a producer and an ex-artist as well.
Yeah.
And yeah, just an all-around super talented,
That's so
creative. And actually I work with Marina a lot as well.
Really?
That's another funny thing if I can tell you. Do I have
Yes.
time to tell you a quick story?
Cool. Yeah.
So Marina was
Marina was the stylist on X Factor.
she was the costume
or
designer
the
on the
costume.
show.
Yeah.
Who has gone on to win like 7 Emmys and is a very giant decorated costume designer. Mass
Go
singer.
off.
Yeah.
That's her baby. She did
Okay.
that. So when I came out here, I needed a job and I had nannied for many years when I first moved out here, but she and I remained friends from the time the show was over. And whenever she got pregnant for the first time, I was in between jobs. And so I was like, if you need a nanny, I do that. And she was like, oh my God, that would be amazing. So her 2 sons became seriously like nephews to me. Like they are my family. And there was a time when Marina was working on Mass Singer that her illustrator had something came up where she lost her illustrator. And so she came to me one day while I was watching the kids and she was like, do you know any illustrators? I'm in a bind. And I was like, I don't know. I'll ask Chase, but could you give me till morning? And she was like, for what? I was like, can I try one? And she was like, sure. She was like, but you know, it's not just drawing. Like these are digital renderings that we do. Like it's pretty advanced stuff. And I was like, yeah, I know a little bit of that, and I kind of have seen what you guys do, and I think I can do it. And she was like, sure. And so I'm sure she promptly like went about finding a real professional to do it. And I went home that night and had a nervous breakdown. I was like, I don't know why I said I could do this because I don't fucking know what I'm doing. And Chase was like, yes, you do. Just do it.
Shout out Chase.
And he was like, and I will stay up on this couch with you all night until you get one done. And I was like,
green
okay.
flag.
And so he sat there with me. I sketched one out. I turned it in the next day. Fox approved it immediately. Cut to, I've done 3 seasons of Masked Singer US, Belgium, and Germany, all with Marina.
Oh my god.
Yeah, she and I. So that's how I'm in the fashion world, is like I did. And so then from there, I did several, I've done a lot of stuff with her, like as her illustrator. We did Beauty and the Beast. We just did Paula Abdul. Like we do a lot. That's kind of what I do to afford living, you know, and what I did to afford living, you know, before music really started to pick up. And I'm doing a lot less sketching now because I'm so busy with my own project. But there was a couple of years where, especially through COVID, that saved my ass.
Oh, yeah.
I was sketching and doing a lot of that stuff.
Good for you.
Wow.
You're a very inspirational
you,
woman.
babe.
And I feel like I'm like the whole time listening to this, I'm just like, yeah, you like from day one, you've always just like, if you saw a challenge, you jump into it and like
Got
look
to.
at where you are. And it's just,
Thank you so much.
really happy for you.
It's been all of it. I just take as a lot of learning experiences. That all of it, from the X Factor to being able to work with Marina, like that really honed such a different skill set for me that now I'm putting into my music. I design everything for all of my shoots. I'll do like, and that's really the grander plan, is to have lines that coincide with albums and things like that. Like there's a whole thing that's circulating in my brain of
cool.
what to do with all of this. But yeah, I've been really blessed to have a lot of cool opportunities to learn, and also with that comes hard opportunities to learn. But it's an opportunity nonetheless.
Well, CeCe, thank you.
Yeah, thanks.
I love you
Cece.
guys so much.
love
I'm so
you.
excited I got to do this and just see you.
I
Just to sit and
know.
like have a conversation is so amazing.
Yeah.
I've been, as you guys know, and I know you guys have been too, but I've been through a lot of shit out here and in this business in general. So you guys know, if you need anything, you can always call me.
Aw,
For sure.
Cece.
No, I
Love
mean
you,
that.
Cece.
Not that you guys don't have your own support systems,
No,
but
but
if there's
it's
ever
nice to hear.
anything that you guys need, you can always call me.
Big sis.
Yeah, I mean it.
Oh, okay. Well, this has been so fun. Thank
So
you
fun.
so much.
Thank you guys.
Once again, I'm Diamond White.
I'm Carly Rose.
Oh, and I'm Cece.
That's our friend CeCe. This is X Factors.
Bye.